call Allah, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. The ones to the men that gave their life for this truth, the dead and Yahweh Shai shall rise first. As the scriptures say, the pioneers of this truth, they gave their lives for this truth. And the ones that was agreement also that told me the truth. And honestly, brothers out there, teaching to the house of David, the 144,000 elect, men, women, and children that consist of the elect. Basically, you want to go into, it's going to be a quick sit down because, today's Columbus Day, so-called the murderer Columbus Day, who slaughtered the Taino Indians, the tribe of Simeon, in the island of the Dominican Republic. But prior to that, the Hurricane Matthews, which means God's gift. But there's another hurricane called Nicole, which means victory. Because that's basically what these devils think they're going to get their victory. But the Lord's going to get their victory. And this word is the music. This truth is the music. We're like the musicians playing the Lord's music. Basically, you got guys that say that the Mexicans are not Israelites, man. The Mexicans are not, which a lot of you is writing that comment. You're a bunch of agents anyway. You don't show your face. You're a bunch of fucking cowards. You see all the tribes are Negroes, But the Mariachis, man, which is the Mexicans, the tribe of Issachar, they're Israelites, man. Which one of their main instruments, their original bass instruments, they call it the Jalisco harp. And it goes into how David played the harp and the instruments to take demons out of soul, Because, we have a history, man. You Black Latino Native Americans, pre-Christopher Columbus, Cortez, pre-conquistadors, we were Israelites. We knew we were Israelites. Even though we was lost, we was kicked out of a land in slavery, But the Lord's going to marry us once again, And Yahweh Shai is the media, the man you call Jesus Christ. But that's what Mariachi means. It means wedding and marriage. But basically, listen to Mariachi music because, I'm into music myself. I listen to all types of different music. I listen to mariachi music. I listen to rock. I listen to opera music. I listen to some country like Johnny Cash. Yes, I listen to hip hop too. All right, if you don't listen to hip hop, that's you. But those that do listen to hip hop, it doesn't mean you're more righteous than them. But anyway, man, the phony shit's got to stop too. The Lord's gonna do away with that shit too. You got cats in this truth that's real phony. They're corny. They're hypocrites. The Lord's gonna do away with that, man. You gotta be yourself in this thing in righteousness, man. Don't try to be like somebody you're not, because you can only put on an act for so long, man. Just be real about this thing, man. But anyway, they say the original Issacharites was playing with drums, rattles, reeds, and like clay flutes. And then supposedly when the Spanish came, this is what they say. That's when the violins, the guitars, the harps, the brass horns, and the wood instruments came about. The woodwinds, which is heavy because the scriptures go into that, man. Like who plays better? Who are better musicians than Black Latino Native Americans, man? We are the best musicians. We are the hands down the best musicians. So they say the Spanish came down, and that's when the guitars and the violins and the woodwinds came into play. But when you look at the history, the Moors were in Spain. The first slaves came from Portugal and Spain. We was ruling Europe, man, in Granada, Spain. So we're gonna play. We're gonna bring out like 2-3 scriptures, something plain, because I was meditating on Columbus Day all day, and it's heavy because a lot of people still went to work. It was like a regular day. And I remember as a kid, Columbus Day was as big as Thanksgiving and Christmas. Which Thanksgiving goes back to the slaughtered Native Americans in Plymouth Rock, Massachusetts. When they set them up, Esau, they burned them up, and the ones that ran out, they set them up, they closed them in, burned them up, and the ones that ran out, they clubbed them in the head, man, to death. Their children and everything. That's your so-called happy Thanksgiving. It should be happy thanks for taking on my shit day. Then you have Black Friday, was when the tribe of Judah, so-called Negroes, West Indians and Haitians, Judah, Benjamin, Levi, was sold in auction blocks for a discount, man. Then you got Christmas. And let me not skip the most wickedest holiday ever. Damn Halloween, man. But anyway, man, that's gonna be another topic, little one. We're gonna get into that fucking later. Basically, I want to bring out the scripture because the original instruments of the Mexicans with the Jalisco harp, the mariachis, which brothers that grew up, watched that movie Desperado and shit. That was a bad film, man. I remember that film. We're gonna start the scriptures. Bring out 2 Samuel 6, and I'm gonna start at the top. And again, David gathered together all the chosen men of Israel, 30,000. And David arose and went with all the people that were with him from Belay of Judah to bring up from thence the ark of God, whose name is called by the name of the Lord of hosts, that dwelleth between cherubims. And they set the ark of God upon a new chart, and brought it out the house of Abinadab, that was in Gibeah, and Uzzah and Ahio, the sons of Abinadab, drave the new cart. And they brought it out on the house of Abinadab, which was in Gibeah, accompanying the ark of God. And Ahio went before the ark, and David and all the house of Israel played before the Lord on all manner of instruments made of fir wood. I remember the mariachis, they used to play what? Woodwinds. Made of fir woods, even on harps. The original mariachi instrument was Jalisco harp. Even on harps, and on psalteries, and on timbrels, and on cornets, and on cymbals. And when the name to Nachon's threshing hold, Uzzah put forth his hand to the ark of God and took hold of it, for the oxen shook it. And the anger of the Lord was kindled against Uzzah, and the God smote him, therefore his error, and there he died by the ark of the God. And that's how he's showing you the Most High don't play, man. It's a certain way he wants you to worship him. You know? You can't just come to the Lord the way you want. The Lord has a specific way for you to worship him, man. Let me take down to 12. And it was told King David, saying, the Lord was blessed. He blessed the house of Obedem and all that pertaineth unto him because of the ark of God. So David went and brought up the ark of God from the house of Obedem into the city of David with gladness. And it was so that when they that bear the ark of the Lord had gone 6 paces, he sacrificed oxen and fatlings. And David danced before the Lord with all his might. That proves you fake Jews ain't the real Jews. You Jewish people, you Edomites. You're not the real Jews because you can't fucking dance for your life, man. And David danced before the Lord with all his might, and David was girded with a linen ephod. So David dressed up, decked out, man. So David and all the house of Israel brought up the ark of the Lord with shouting and with sound of trumpet. And as the ark of the Lord came into the city of David, Michal, all Saul's daughter, looked through a window and saw King David leaping and dancing before the Lord, and she despised him in his heart. And they brought in the ark of the Lord and set in his place in the midst of the tabernacle that David had pitched for it. And David offered burnt offerings and peace offerings before the Lord. And as soon as David made an end of offering burnt offerings and peace offerings, he blessed the people in the name of the Lord of hosts. Because he loved his people, man. King David loved his people, man. Unlike you guys that's in the truth. You know, some of you guys talk about the multitude coming in. Some of you guys ain't ready for that, man. A lot of you guys ain't ready for that. You know? See the way brothers teach sometimes. So-called brothers, because you got a lot of niggas in this thing too. The way you conduct yourselves with the people, you're just ready to kill everything, man. It is you want to kill this, you want to kill that. But meanwhile, you don't even got the balance of healing, man. Forgiveness, healing. You got brothers that talk about forgiveness, and then here it is, they're being wicked as hell, talking shit about brothers, throwing brothers in the bus. But they got the nerve to make video talk about forgiveness and all that. You just had the Day of Atonement, and you just see the Day of Atonement. You didn't see nothing wrong. You offended brothers, many brothers, and here it is, you're having the Day of Atonement. And the only thing you're thinking about is just eating. That's a lot of death is coming, man. That's why the scripture says, start on my sanctuary first. And that's the music the Lord's going to be playing too. That's going to be the music, the death, the people screaming. And it says, start on my sanctuary first. The brothers that know the truth. And the sisters that know the truth. You wicked ass women out there, you say you're in the truth and you're being wicked, the Lord going to get your number too. So you better repent and get yourself right, man. And as soon as David made an end of the offering burnt offerings and peace offerings, he blessed the people in the name of the Lord of hosts. And he dealt among all the people, even among the multitude of Israel, as well to the women as men, to everyone a cake of bread and a good piece of flesh, and a flagon of wine. So all the people departed, everyone to his house. Basically, it goes to when, I'm just going to read the whole point. Then David returned to bless his household, and Michal, the daughter of Saul, came to meet David, which Michal was a princess, the daughter of King Saul, out to meet David and said, how glorious was the king of Israel today, who covered himself today in the eyes of handmaids of his servants, as one of the vain fellows, shamelessly uncovering himself. And David said unto Michal, it was before the Lord which chose me before thy father, and before all his house, to appoint me ruler over the people of the Lord, over Israel. Therefore will I play before the Lord, and I will yet be more vile than thus, and will be base in my own sight. And of the maidservants which thou hast spoken of them shall I be had in honor. Therefore Michal, the daughter of Saul, had no child until the day of her death, so he put her away. And back then, you got women now having abortions and all this, murdering their children. Back then, women wanted to have children at a young age. If you didn't have children, that was a shameful thing. And the Lord put her away and said, all those women that was cheering for me, I'm gonna have my way with them. So when David, even the women cheering for him, the cheerleaders, David killed his tens of thousands, Saul's his thousands. We'll go to 14, 1 Samuel 16 and 14. But the Spirit of the Lord departed from Saul, and the evil spirit from the Lord troubled him. And the evil spirit from the Lord tells you what? Isaiah 45 and 7. I create light and create darkness. How the Lord do all things, good and evil. And Saul's servants said unto him, Behold, now an evil spirit from God troubleth thee. Let our Lord now command thy servants which are before thee to seek out a man who is a cunning player on an harp. And it shall come to pass, when the evil spirit from God is upon thee, that he shall play with his hand, and thou shalt be well. And Saul said unto his servants, Provide me now a man that can play well, and bring him to me. That's Israel, man. Then answered one of the servants and said, Behold, I have seen a son of Jesse the Bethlehemite, that is cunning in playing, and a mighty valiant man, and a man of war, and a prudent in manners, and a comely person. And the Lord is with him. Jump down to 23. And it came to pass, when the evil spirit from God was upon Saul, and David took an harp and played with his hand. So Saul was refreshed and was well, and the evil spirit departed from him. So that's Israel, man. The main point, the harp. Good music adds good positive ions into your body. That's why Esau infiltrates the music and shit to fucking mess up the people's minds, put demons on people. Like there's even a video on YouTube, certain like violins and good music, harps. You play those instruments on the wall, it'll form peaceful symbols. But if you start playing rock and roll or death metal, like demonic music, it'll start causing demonic symbols in the water. And your body's 80% water. You see, your body 20% salt, mainly water, 80% water. So that affects people's bodies and their minds. Basically, I just want to play the Mariachi real quick, because people say the Mexicans and the Israelites, they are Israelites, man. All right, and the spiritual, because the original instrument was what? The harp, Jalisco harp, Jalisco, Mexico, mariachis, man, which means wedding, marriage, and the Lord is bidding us to the marriage, man. Now, we're gonna play this out. People that say the Mexicans are not Israelites. Jalisco horseman. Trumpets. Timbrels, beautiful, man.